Absolute worst. Bottom of the barrel.
Oh, yeah! Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in KISS podcasting. It's your buddy Andy, and as always, I'm joined by Nick and Chris. Hey, fellas, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Us or the listeners?
The two of you, specifically.
In
the room.
Drop that on us out of
Well,
nowhere.
you know, sometimes I like to change it up a little bit. I don't know. Add some energy when we need it. It's been a long day. We might be tired. So let's take it up a notch. Let's force ourselves to be high energy today.
I don't need any forcing.
No?
I saw the greatest moment of music video history.
What is
that from one of our listeners told us about that. The Cat Scratch Fever video by Nitro.
By Nitro.
I believe it's at the 17-second mark.
Nitro.
The drummer headbutting the cymbal after a drum fill.
The mohawked roid head drummer.
The best thing ever.
We just watched it again. My favorite part is the singer running in place at the beginning after his "Oh yeah." This is the worst music imaginable.
I will definitely admit, musically, after being introduced to these guys just this past week, musically there's nothing that I find that
You've never heard of these clowns before?
Never.
Me neither. Never.
I mean, there's it's all dexterity and technicality and stuff, but musically it's not anything I enjoy.
It's not musical at all. It's crap.
But that moment of that video, just I don't know.
Well, no,
I can't get past it.
It's like you said, the lingering question is: do these guys, are they in on the joke or are they being serious? It's hard to tell.
Well, I figuratively and literally can't get past that moment of the video.
You just have to keep going back.
Because I have no interest in hearing a Cat Scratch Fever cover by anybody.
Well, don't speak too soon. Have you ever heard Pantera's cover of that song?
I may have. I was thinking Motorhead's, which is
I don't like that. And I'm a big Motorhead fan, but it's like too down-tuned or whatever.
It's something, yeah.
Pantera's version is pretty fucking awesome.
I'll have to revisit that one.
You should.
It's
on par with the original. I'm not even joking about that. It's really good.
But
this, however, is garbage.
This is, There's
this Michelangelo Badio guy used to hang around the Guitar Center when I worked there, coming in with his fucking wig and doing his stupid guitar gymnastics. Like,
he did that in the store? He would just come in
there
and shred?
He couldn't do the guitar necks on either side of him, but yeah,
But he would grab a guitar and
he'd be holding court in there, and, just a few jerks would be impressed by this crap.
So what year would that have been, when he would be coming into the Guitar Center?
I worked there from October 91 to, like, February 93.
Okay, and then when would was Nitro still around? I have no idea. I don't
think
know the
so.
timetable here.
This guy was an idiot.
So Nitro was a Chicago-based band?
Yeah. I mean, they used to play around like that metal club, the Thirsty Whale, out in the west burbs. I know they played there and stuff. He thought he was hot shit. I thought he was a clown.
What's this wig talk?
He's fucking wears a wig.
Okay.
His wig talk. Guy was an idiot. Stupid. The bottom of the barrel music. It's just horrible stuff.
See, I've heard you talk about this guy before, just being like a guitar virtuoso guy that you never were really into, but I had no idea you had some personal encounters with the guy.
Not a virtuoso, for one thing.
Okay. What is he? I thought he was like one of those shredder, like classical neo.
Yeah, but he's not musical.
Oh, right.
So I don't consider him virtuoso if you have nothing musical about what you do.
Right, but he probably gets his name dropped in those conversations.
Oh God, I hope.
As far as having fast fingers,
big deal.
I mean, that seems to be the claim to fame for sure.
What?
Fast fingers.
He's the opposite of a virtuoso.
Well, let's watch this for 8 seconds.
Fine. Absolute garbage.
Can't believe that.
Ruining a Motown classic.
The sexiest Motown song of all time.
Yeah. Also, there are vocal lessons by Jim Gillette on YouTube that come up.
Well,
it's good.
Recommended viewing if you watch this. So check that out.
I'll take the laptop in the garage later tonight and go work on that.
Yeah, I've already got the first lesson down. Oh yeah.
I actually.
Christ, what an idiot!
I actually watched.
Who releases this crap? It's like somebody put forth some effort to put this out, filming this and all this other crap.
Yeah.
Terrible. What a waste of time.
See, the first one that his name's Eric, right? The listener who sent it to us? I think Eric. If it's not Eric, let me double check that. I think it's our friend Eric.
I'm going to double check too. I'm sorry.
He sent us Freight Train, the song by Nitro, Freight Train. And I watched that and I was like, this is like, it is unbelievable in that it's like such a parody of that style of metal. And I really hated the vocals. I think that among the worst recorded vocals by a professional band I've ever heard.
It sounded like if you mixed Queen with, I don't know, it had Queen-esque qualities to it with regard to just over-the-topness and a lot of layering.
Yeah.
But it's just, if you went as ridiculous hair metal as you possibly can.
And I don't mean worse like he's not capable. I just mean ridiculous. Stupid. But then I watched one of the vocal lessons, and I actually found Jim Gillette to be pretty charming. So, gotta say, I don't hate the guy as much as I thought I did at first.
Maybe he's hilarious.
That's not the point. I mean, yeah.
But it's collectively they comprise one of the very worst bands in the history of music. Just garbage.
Bobby Rock was the drummer at one point, apparently, right?
Yeah, well,
Well, I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm just saying he's one of the players.
He's playing fantastic, but still, it's just the songs are terrible.
Well, and just again, it's not music. I mean, there's no attempt at any sort of creativity. The whole thing's a fucking caricature.
The guy's playing a 4-necked guitar.
Yeah, get out
one
of here
part of the
with
video.
This shit.
2 on each side.
Anybody's impressed by that is just I don't even know what to say. That kind of guitar playing is like solving a Rubik's cube. It's like it's just all I don't know what it is. It's like a physical demonstration. It has nothing to do with music. Pure crap.
So you brought up something that interesting to me, the whole Guitar Center thing where people will come in and who knows if they buy anything ever, but what's worse when someone cranks up, plugs in and cranks up in an amp and they're just showing off whatever they can do, finger tapping, whatever. And is it that or is it the drummer that comes in and plays it very well, but plays the stock, really boring jazz fusion drum beat, and everybody's supposed to be impressed.
Yeah,
and it happens no matter which Guitar Center you go in at any time that it's open.
It is pretty incredible that it's like it's an unspoken.
You get one of the two of those, if not both, at all times.
It's an unspoken behavior of a douchebag musician.
Dude, working there was a fucking. It was a chore sometimes,
I bet.
Man. Busy Saturdays in there. It was just mayhem, crazy in there.
Did you ever have to tell people hands off?
Of course.
Or did you ever just have to shut someone down when they were being too annoying?
Of course. All of that.
They ever get mad at you?
Who cares?
I hope they do. I want to hear a story.
Yeah,
Michelangelo Bay.
You turned his amp off. Something get the fuck out.
I would have liked to have done it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was I always joke that right around the time when I started was like shortly after the Black album came out, so my running joke about that period is I still get PTSD every time I hear the Enter Sandman riff.
I bet.
I must have heard that thing get butchered probably 1,000 times when I worked there. It was horrible.
We found this old clip of Chris telling Michelangelo Battio to turn his amp off. Yeah, we did.
Wow, that's quick.
Shut up, you goddamn stupid asshole!
That would have been it.
Yeah. I bought that bass that's behind you, Nick. When I bought that, I went in the store, And I like put it on hold, and I came and bought. Like I called and asked, whatever, long story, but they had it holding for me, so I went in to buy it. And the he's like, "Yep, here it is." And he takes it out and he starts doing like some slap bass thing on it. I'm like, "Oh, come on!"
That was another thing.
Don't play my bass.
I'm buying it. Leave it alone. Don't ruin it.
Exactly.
So he's like, boom. And then he's like,
"Are you supposed to upstage him at that point?"
And then he handed it to me. He's like, "You want to test it out?" And I went, "Bump. All right, it's fine. I'll take it."
Exactly.
And I just put it in the box.
You know, these guys come in with their stun guitar riffs, or like you said, the Dave Weckl drum rolls.
Exactly,
it's
Dave
like
Weckl.
Enough. Just all it takes is one hit or one strum, and you should.
Yeah,
you can tell if you like it.
Does it sound good clean? Does it sound good with the distortion on? Okay.
That's all I need to know. Is the nut cut properly? Is it going to stay in tune? That's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
Not going to impress anybody.
Well,
there
you have it.
Oh, the stories I have from Guitar Center.
I bet.
I had a lot of cool guys, though. A lot of people who are friends of mine to this day. It was a great job, but man, some crazy motherfuckers came through there. Some real weirdos. Michelangelo Badio being one of them. Jag off. Hate that kind of guitar playing.
You do.
Worthless.
Never liked it?
No. Never appealed.
Not even
to me.
when it was hot. You were like instantly like, this stinks.
Well, I mean, it was if it with guys who were caricature of the style, like for example, someone who's not that, like George Lynch, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Huge respect for that guy because he was original, he was legit. Wasn't shredding for shredder's sake, but a lot of these clowns it just it is a physical exertion, just never appealed to me.
Gotcha.
You don't play with your mind.
Play with your dick.
Exactly. Nobody's dick moves that fast. So. Anywho.
Look, speaking of fast-moving dicks, there's some hazard lights on, and the mailman's here.
There's Dick, the delivery man. Let me go meet him.
Trying to beat the winter storm that's on the way. That's going to drop a whole half-inch on the region.
Uh-oh. A half inch? That's what we're hearing?
That's what they said.
Oh, boy.
Said, winter weather's on the way. And we're going to get about a half
Gives
inch.
a shit about a half inch.
Fear mongers.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Nick, you got it?
Fuck them.
I do.
You got the box?
I got the box.
Is the box hot?
Is the box hot?
It is hot. Okay. So, what's in there? Did you open it?
I did.
Okay.
Of course I did.
What do you got this week?
2017 calendar. A little late. What are you going to do?
I hope you got a discing on that shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's like clearance at this point.
If you can live without, having the dates visible through the first half of January every year, you can get nice steals on calendars.
Should we play the True Confessions music?
Why is there something?
I don't know.
Something's coming.
Some deals. Chris's secret deal music. Do we have anything for that?
I wish we did.
Well, you shouldn't pay more than $1 for a 2017 calendar when you're almost through January.
That's true.
Absolutely correct.
So, if you can suck it up through January and not need to know what day or date it is, you can make out pretty good.
Hear that?
That's my money-saving tip for the day.
We have a weekly money-saving tip, please.
We'll have to pile those up, and you can retire in no time.
There you go. So, Nick, what's in that? What's in that box?
It's a calendar.
Okay.
2017. It's one of those. What do you call those? The daily calendars where you pull off.
Oh yeah, like a Far Side calendar with a little joke a day kind of thing.
Yep, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's I guess it's for the musicians that like to get up in the morning and get down to it right away. It's the Kiss riff of the day.
Oh, okay.
It's got a little tablature thing on each page.
Wow. That many riffs. I mean, I guess there would be. There's more than one riff in a song, and there's 250 plus songs.
Oh, and if you factor in possible bass lines.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's true.
Drum tabs.
Okay.
keyboard riffs.
Yeah.
There are a few of those.
Yeah.
For easy as it seems, keyboard solo.
Yeah.
Retard in boys' rooms take on it. Headbutting a cymbal.
What is it? Is it just like tablature? Is that what that is? It's like written out or
What?
on the calendar pages?
Yeah. So each day I can go to today and.
Or does it just say the name of the song?
Well, it says the name of the song and then it's got.
It's got like tablature.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
got
notes.
tablature.
Okay.
It'll have like a little some of them have the lyric.
Yeah,
Right,
so you know what you're
that
playing.
it goes
to.
right before, right after, or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, so you know where you're at.
Mm-hmm. So how?
So, you want me to rip off today's?
Yeah.
See.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I heard that rip.
So
is it necessarily going to be the song? Or
no, because we've done this one already.
What?
Okay. Well, hey, I mean, this is not.
What is it?
It's not perfect here.
It's part of Mark St. John solo.
Oh, another
boy.
awesome guitarist.
I'm gonna actually
Jesus.
got a guitar right by me. I'm gonna see if I can follow the tablature. And play
Okay.
it real quick.
All right, go ahead and grab it. Nick's grabbing. Pick it up. Push it up.
Easy.
There it is.
God damn, boy. I'm gonna wreck that shit. Damn, Playboy.
Okay.
I can hear it.
That's the first note.
Uh huh.
I'll do it later.
That's it.
Okay,
You know,
that
it's
was the worst
trying-
thing I've
Trying
ever
to
seen.
follow the
3 notes.
well, no, that's just the beginning of it.
Yeah.
It's like 50 notes.
Mm.
I'm not. I don't have.
Well, yeah, and it's probably in
can't
like
sit
one
here.
measure, right? It's just
Yeah, I can't sit here and
yeah. It's
do
gonna
that.
take all day
Yeah,
to learn
forget
that.
it.
'Cause I
Forget
it. That did sound like the beginning of an angry bee flapping, though. The first three,
The perfect 3 notes.
the first
for an
3
angry bee.
wing strokes of an angry bee.
All right, now you know how to put this thing
No,
back,
I don't. It's
or
gonna
what?
fall.
It's
on
gonna
you.
fall.
Just give me the hand
Put it in there,
over.
and then let.
This guy knows
lower it.
nothing about anything guitar related. Jesus.
There it is.
Never seen one of those in my life.
Yanking at it.
Twisted it.
Jesus.
Almost pulled it out of the. He almost pulled it out of the studs in the drywall.
Unbelievable.
Is it in the
this
studs?
guy
I hope.
I don't know.
Not
18
anymore.
inches between.
Was until you got
It's
at it.
probably in anchors.
Oh, great.
Careful.
Great. Plastic anchors above
That
us.
might have been the worst segment or the worst thing that's ever happened on this podcast.
I
That
don't
was
know.
ill-advised, Nick.
I liked it.
You should have thought twice before you did
I
that.
thought
That
a
was
few
really
times,
terrible.
Damn. Playboy, you guys suck.
There you go.
So, anyway,
So
I'd better go and.
two things. The sports machine's not turned on.
It's not.
Yeah,
yet.
treat that with a little more care than you did this fucking guitar hanger. Jesus.
Well, that thing I know how to work. This
Clod.
guitar hangers. I have no idea what this is all about.
It's based on gravity.
Exactly.
Now you know.
No, I know.
Go start that sports machine.
Powering through the half-inch of snow,
Yeah, how about that?
chugging along.
So what do you do now with this sheet of paper?
I'm gonna go shred it because, yeah, nice pun there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
See what
good.
you did there.
Go put it in
Well,
there.
how
there
does
a
it get a
shredder?
song out of there, though? Do you use it to get a song out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can't shred it until you do that,
Well,
right?
it runs it through, and it comes.
Oh,
out.
so it literally goes through the shredder.
It's
and
going
then
through the
There's a
shredder.
shredder in the song machine
Of course.
generator.
You
Of
never- you
course.
never-
Well, you know, George Michael probably needed that for
He may-
documents.
he made
80s
it-
documents.
He may have had to shred some
Yeah,
documents.
paternity results, things of that
Exactly.
nature.
Yeah. That was important
Which you
back
can
then.
tell-
You are the father.
You can test on the sports.
Can you imagine how much ass that guy knocked down in his day, George Michael?
I bet. Well, which one?
you gotta-
the sports
both of
machine?
them.
syndicated
Now that we're
TV
mentioning
show with your name on it.
That's true.
I mean,
How many interns that guy bedded down? Can only imagine.
Young reporters
Exactly.
hungry for a story.
That's not all they were hungry for.
Nope, they sure weren't. All right. So you gonna run it through?
Run the shredder.
here I go.
This one comes off.
Ace Frehley,
It's called
New York
Oh, boy.
New York Groove.
Wow. All right.
Interesting.
Here you have it, folks.
When you said the name of the album, I was hoping for Fractured Mirror, just to
I was going to walk
get
out.
Andy's dander up. That's going to be a good episode.
Yeah, we can save that conversation for when it happens.
Hopefully it'll be a recording session when you had a shitty day at work and you'll just be completely off the chain. That's what we need.
Well, first thing, there's nothing about this song in the book.
What?
For whatever reason.
Why? Because it's a cover?
No, for whatever reason.
Because Ace only did like one song and then he didn't comment on all
Well,
the
the solo album, they just kind of gloss over. It's like 1 or 2 songs per solo album.
Well,
They don't go into detail, really. Well,
you know what?
They kind of do with Paul.
I have something here.
Okay.
The box set book.
What can you do to help, Nick?
I'm just going to read it. No pre-screening. Here go. Nothing. I don't know.
All right.
After the success of my solo album in 1978, it was kind of like the beginning for me where I was no longer happy in Kiss. Once I realized what I could do on my own, I never really felt the same again about the group. I really felt that the group was holding me back. It was time for a change. I was getting stale. I wasn't growing creatively. I always knew that eventually I'd go solo. It was just a matter of timing. So, and Gene actually has a quote about this song. New York Groove off of Ace's solo record.
This ought to be good.
Actually performed best of all 4 singles that were released. It was written by...
Bullshit!
Jesus.
It was written by Russ Ballard, who would later, ironically enough, be the same writer of God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Don't listen to this idiot.
Now, had Russ Ballard recorded a version of this before Ace's version? Or?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I want to say I listened
Dick.
to it once. It became a signature song for the New York Yankees. That's about all it says.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you hear it a lot. I detected it when the Yankees games are on the TV.
Is that like they call the bullpen, and that's what they play, or what?
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
That could be fun.
I knew it was commandeered by a New York sports team, but I couldn't remember the exact one until you mentioned it. But
You like that, huh?
What's the best song, like sports team song combination?
I don't want to get into that.
Okay,
right now.
I didn't know if
Do
you had. I didn't know if you had one in mind.
What about Raise Your Glasses from Psycho Circus with the Detroit Red Wings?
Well,
of
that's
1997, maybe?
98.
Did they really do that?
Yeah, they did.
Commercial.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one.
I don't know. I did not know that.
I can't hear the beginning of Jump by Van Halen without thinking of being at Wrigley Field in the mid-'80s.
Really? Was that always a thing?
It seemed like it.
Wow.
The times I was there, yeah.
Mm.
That was a big song they played there.
Actually, the Bad Boys Pistons used to do their the pregame intros like basketball teams do to the opening strains of the Final Countdown by
Okay.
Europe. That was pretty good.
I thought you were going to say
that.
Mind Playing Tricks on Me was there.
That would have been more
Ghetto Boys.
That would have been more apropos, but that was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the Bulls always had that. What was that?
Alan Parsons.
Alan
Yeah.
Parsons song. Yeah.
We always had.
Is that like the style of music that you need to have for your intro? It has to be like weird, progressive 80s keyboard music.
I don't know.
You think they would move past that? They still do that at Bulls games. I guess it's just iconic.
It is now.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a connection to the glory days.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Also, there was Bulls There It Is by the tag team where they redid Whoomp There It Is. Which you
Not
can
good.
find that on YouTube.
Can
right
you-
up there with you could put that in the playlist with Nitro.
it could be.
Nitro Cat Scratch Fever followed by Bulls There It Is. There you
Awful.
go.
post-apocalyptic playlist.
It's like
right
Nick's
there.
little guitar interlude, just ill-advised stuff. All of it falling under that category.
Oh boy.
Stuff that was not thought through before it was done.
Well, that kind of applies to everything we do here, so it's appropriate on
Yeah,
this show.
but some examples are worse than others.
Well, sure.
Gotta lower.
New low point.
We have to lower the bar every once in a while.
Yeah.
192 episodes in, we've hit bottom. Hopefully.
Oh,
Yeah,
not nearly.
There's plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, what do you think? You want to get right into it? Any
Well,
other
yeah,
thoughts
I mean,
on the
we
song?
Should, we should be getting fired up. I mean, this is a... Come on, New York groove.
Also, I don't know why I just noticed this, but Nick's wearing a USA Curling T-shirt.
I am.
All right. Just a little side note. I don't know.
I dig the sport.
That's cool.
Don't know.
Of course you do.
Have you ever tried to do it anywhere?
No, because I know in Chicago they've got some places, but
Do they just do it like an ice arena on certain days or something?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
It'd be fun to
It's
try.
like you have to join a club. It's like I just want to go and do it one time.
They don't have rat curling?
They should have rat curling. Yeah, but they
No.
don't.
Now, would you be one of the guys with the broom, or would you be the guy who strikes a pose when he sends the stone? Is that what they
The
call it?
stone,
yeah.
and yells hard.
Send-
Hard. That's
Chris
what
would yell, "Do it."
Well, we have a clip of that too, but no.
Yeah, I'd be the stone. Like, what do they call that guy? What's his? What's
He passes the stone. I don't know.
yeah. I have experience with that. Unfortunately,
I forget. You know what? It's been a little while since I watched. I know there is a name for that, but I forget what they call it.
Hurler,
I don't know.
I don't
I
know. Slider.
Shurler.
I would like to be that guy.
Shuffleboard.
I like how they like strike the pose
Yeah.
and like stick the follow through.
Yeah.
But do you ever watch the women's actually? That's a sport where the women's are better. The
Really?
women's competitions or
Why?
games or whatever you call them, the matches. It's just better.
Interesting.
The women are more interesting and they're better, and they yell hard, like
All
crazy,
bent over,
like they like crazy people. They're
furiously brushing something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's and they're usually all gussied up and stuff on
Yeah,
TV, and then
that's
they're
not
just
bad.
screaming
I can
like
see that.
screaming like crazy. It's
Women's
fascinating.
Kind of like
Curling.
women's bowling is kind of better than men's bowling.
Interesting.
You
You
know,
know, I was
sturdy women in competition. There's
You know-
something erotic about it.
I did coach girls bowling for 1 year for high school.
How'd that go?
It was a disaster. They didn't even invite me back the next year. I didn't have to turn it down because they didn't even ask. But all right, let's get into New York groove.
Yeah.
How could that be
Yeah,
a
I don't know what we're
disaster?
talking
I don't.
about. Yeah, what could possibly
How
go
could
wrong
how could
there?
coaching a girls bowling team turn into a disaster?
I think it was just a lack of interest from me.
I know that.
Gee,
I can
that's
see.
a shocker.
Well, I mean, it was sold to me as, "Hey, would you do this? We'll give you, I think it was $2,200 or $2,500
Hey, well.
for the
Wow.
season."
It's not a
How
small
long's the season?
chunk of
It
change.
was like 3 months.
No,
But it was,
That's not bad.
they sold it to me as, you only have to go to the matches to be there as an adult because the coach, he has another job and sometimes can't make it. I was like, "Oh, I'll do that." I was there at every damn practice, every damn match. They lied to me. So
Did you instruct these girls?
See, I think that was the other problem.
So you don't know anything
didn't?
about bowling.
I could bowl
do
my
you?
ass off, but
That's
I
not
don't know how to
true, is it?
I have a 255 high game, sir.
We ought to do a bowling outing,
Oh,
man.
dude, I'd be the
I'm
worst.
ready.
It'd be embarrassing for me.
We're gonna do a pot bowling outing.
We can do this. Bowling of
Oh,
Thunder.
that would be so bad.
I think we need to book that.
All right, call Arturo Valle with his camera. And get
Exactly.
him to the bowling
I
alley.
can't believe this.
Have a bowl off.
I'm gonna be.
I'm
sick.
liking
I'm
this.
gonna
We
be
don't have
sick
to
that
do
day.
it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to participate. Just
I'm gonna be
hang out.
sick that day.
You can just commentate. Be a one-on-one duel between me and Andy.
The first time ever that someone pretended they were sick to not go bowling. Whoever wants to avoid going
It's
bowling?
not exactly a Ralph Cramden kind of move. So
All right. Well, while we think about bowling and plan our outing, let's get started on New York Groove.
Sorry. That's okay. This for me, growing up listening to this album, it's already I'm getting that nostalgia, that iconic kind of
I am
sensation.
too. I gotta admit.
It's very unique, the sound. It's not exactly. It doesn't sound like drums, and it doesn't sound like "We Will Rock You."
Yeah,
I've never quite been sure. Me and Andy, when we were younger, we used to laugh and say that it sounded like horses clomping down.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what it is, but it's when you see live clips like from the tour after this, where they were playing a song off of each solo album. It's it doesn't have the same effect when
Not even close.
Peter Criss is just hitting floor tom, I think is what he does.
Yeah.
And fine, but I don't know that this could be.
And they did a lot faster too, didn't they?
I think so.
It just sounded weird. It sounded like a different song.
Well, this is your boy Anton Fig on the drums, right?
Yeah. So I never could tell, and what exactly that was, but it's great, like muffled kind of with like a phaser on it. It sounds like, and then you get the wah pedal kind of slowly easing in with the guitar coming in.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle wah pedal. Might even be a sort of an envelope filter, although it's not like a uniform sweep there. So yeah, it's a kind of it's a lot more rhythmic than anything Ace had done up until this point.
Yeah, it sounds like boots with like almost like with what are those called? That not stirrups. Those things that I'm stupid. I don't know anything. You kick a horse with
spurs.
It sounds like that, like in a cowboy movie.
So there's a lot of horse.
Like
got
jingling.
Spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
What is
Never
that?
heard that
No
song?
idea what that
Wild West tune.
By who?
It was probably in some cartoon.
Wait
I
a
remember
minute.
that. It was like Tom and Jerry or some shit.
Is that?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay, I might be wrong, but that song might be Buttons and Bows.
It could be. I don't know.
Frasier sang that on an episode of Frasier.
See, it's a very dandy type of song. Yeah, it might be that song.
He sings it every year at the telethon.
As I go riding merrily along.
It's got to be, right? Isn't it Buttons and Bows?
I remember that, either from some syndicated sitcom or a cartoon. I always remember that jingle.
Wow. I don't know.
You see a lot of people getting their New York groove on with spurs. I don't know.
I know, it doesn't make sense, but it just sounds like...
No, I hear you with the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Some jangling. Maybe it's like motorcycle boots or something.
No, I'm not bringing this...
down in Soho.
I'm not bringing this up to...
little Boys Town, Manhattan. Who knows what's going on
Who knows?
over there?
Some boots. Not trying to get Chris's goat, but it's a Slade-esque kind of thing too, where allegedly they'd go
eyes rolled.
They'd go in a staircase was very echoey, and they would stomp, and that would kind of be their background, kind of trying to emulate what the crowd. They're hoping the crowd's going to do when they play the song live, kind of adding a little bit of that.
Terrific.
What was that lyric that you sang?
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle as I go riding merrily along.
I don't see it for Buttons and Bows.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Might be a different song.
It's
all right, get off of this.
Many years since I was here on the street, I was passing my time away. To the left and to the right, buildings towering to the sky, it's out of sight.
So we don't have any insight on the song from any of the books, so we're going to be operating with even less knowledge than we usually have, which less than 0 would be the measurement on that, I think. But does anybody have any insight as to how or why Ace picked this song to cover? I mean, aside from the obvious New York expression of Big Apple pride or whatever.
I'm not sure. There's got to be.
I mean, it's a
views.
great choice,
Yeah.
obviously, and really, this is one of those songs like like Heaven's on Fire compared to the rest of Animalize. It's like this is just clearly the standout cut, the obvious single. Although the rest of the album is quite good, of course, but this one is just, it's different from from the rest of the album and just the clear single, and you can hear how that stands out among the other tracks.
The song was a hit by the British glam rock group Hello, recorded in 1975.
Oh. That's kind of interesting. It seemed like back then people would cover songs that were a couple years old. You'd have Big Ten bands covering a song from a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was pretty commonplace back then.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't really.
Yeah, I have no insight. I'm sure he's talked about it in interviews. I can't think of anything offhand though. But I guess groove is really a good word for it. It really does have a great kind of groove to it, and vocally it sounds great. Pretty well,
he's got all those session aces working for him. So how could it not come out great?
In the dead of night, here I am again in the city with a fistful of dollars, and baby, you better believe I'm back in the New York groove. I'm back.
There's I'd say this is probably the first song that we got out of Ace where there's a lot of personality that he's putting out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Wiped Out. We talked about Wiped Out on that episode as well. But yeah, just the whole fistful of dollars and all that stuff. It's
because like Shock Me, great song, blah 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 blah, but not a ton of personality in his vocal.
No,
well, kind of. I wouldn't agree with that so much.
I guess Rocket Ride had a good amount of that too, though.
Definitely.
So maybe I'm speaking out of turn here.
Maybe this is more accessible. I mean, I remember the scuttlebutt about Shock Me. It was that, man, he was drunk when he was recorded that, and you can hear it, which is probably true, but this is definitely. He was meant business when we recorded this, probably knew that the potential this song had. And, so other people out there have probably made this connection before, but I literally just made it now as I'm listening to it. But this kind of sounds like another New York band of the time. I'm talking about Blondie. So it's got some sonic similarities to the around the Parallel Lines era of Blondie that are coming clear to me. So it's just that New York sound, that late 70s, like not so much the punk scene, but kind of that CBGB scene where you had the Talking Heads and Television and Blondie and all that stuff.
Yeah,
hearing some elements of that in this song.
Back in the New York groove. I'm back in the New York groove. Back in the New York groove. In the New York groove.
So the bass on this song,
yeah,
it's about as basic as it gets, right? From what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So, but it's effective. Everything's pretty effective. The drums there really aren't drums to speak of in this song.
No. They're playing as a unit to create a groove, which is in the title of the song, but you know what I mean? It's not like a solo piece for the drums or the bass player.
No, not really.
They're working together.
It's just everybody's accenting at the same time. That's about it.
Yep.
To great effect, obviously.
Well, it's the polar opposite of the Michelangelo Badio discussion we had earlier. This is the complete antithesis of overplaying. This is playing just what is needed for the song, which is, of course, perfect when you consider who's executing it. Comes as no surprise that it's perfectly done.
In the back of my Cadillac,
maybe my favorite Ace Frehley guitar fill. Right
Really?
there. Always loved that.
It is cool.
It might have had something to do with kind of early on. I think one of our listeners actually is associated with this old website, but I would go on kisstabs.com.
All right,
and pretty early on, this was like one of the pieces of tab that I found, and I learned how to play that little guitar fill.
And it was actually right, huh?
It sounded just like it, yeah.
That's good.
So but even before that, it was just just a thing. And when I saw on the Kissology 2 bonus disc where they were playing this song, that part that got me excited when I was watching the show. They played this song, and I saw him positioning the fingers, getting ready for it. He nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't mess with Ace.
No.
He knows what he's doing.
On a side note about the tab thing, in your life, did you ever go on a tab site to look up how to play something, and you start playing along, and you're like,
no.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're like, the audacity of this asshole to post this like this is correct. This isn't even close to what the song is. Why would you waste your time to type this up and submit it?
This must not be a Wolf Marshall joint.
Exactly. Terrible.
The internet just brings out the worst in people and brings the worst people out as well.
It's too bad that those sites didn't have a comment section.
Oh, if they did.
You bring up a tablature for a song.
Everyone would be called a moron and an asshole.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Tell him to put his interpretation of that song back in his warbling ass a shithole where it belongs.
Yeah.
Just teeing off on people like they do on YouTube. It's a beautiful thing.
If you're ever bored, you could easily be entertained.
Look up for
hours.
Look up any video.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah.
Because
I found myself
it could be a puppy video, and there'd be people going at each other.
Oh yeah.
It would take how many comments in would you say something as the most just innocent, innocuous subject matter?
I'm gonna say between like 6 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when it
generally.
could turn a corner.
Well, because you never know. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, but it never fails. There's something that touches off just a confrontation.
Yeah.
Well, because if you have
two losers going at each other,
hard too, though.
Yeah, exactly. Pulling out every fucking prolonged, verbal assault on each other. It's great. It's free entertainment.
Wicked lady sitting by my side saying, where are we? Stop the burning body.
That was a mistake.
Exit through the night.
You know what though?
I was tapping along to the
I'm glad you
music.
stopped it, because this is one of those episodes where I'm just sitting back and listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
But that lyric always painted a picture for me.
Which one?
The lady sitting by my side saying, "Where are we?"
Yeah.
I never quite knew if that was something where there could have been a story to it, or was it the lady with him? Is it somebody who's very inebriated and is just about to pass out in the back of a cab and he's sharing the cab with her? I don't know.
I never rode in a Cadillac. It was a cab, I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know what kind of neighborhoods you're slinking around.
So then what's
in.
he must be okay, chauffeured then, pardon me.
Yeah,
It's chauffeured, it's not a cab.
Yeah, they're in a limo, man.
But I mean, they're in the
It's
back.
a rock star at this point.
They're in the back.
I say cab.
Well, they're in the back being chauffeured, so yeah. But it just he never touches on it again. It's just a lyric, just the one line. There's a lady sitting by my side who doesn't have any idea what's going on.
That's
at this
true.
At this moment,
Probably for the best if you think about it.
You know what he said? She said, "Where are we?"
I don't know.
There you go.
He doesn't know either. Neither of them know. That's part of the fun of it, the adventure.
It's gonna be ecstasy. This place was meant for me. Feels so good tonight. Who cares about tomorrow? So baby, you better believe I'm not.
that backing vocal,
Yeah.
those oohs, doesn't. I guess Ace could be one of the voices there. Never really thought it sounded like him. I don't know that we have any idea who may have sung backups at all. Bit of it almost sounds like it could be a little Paul Stanley-ish, but obviously I don't think he had anything to do with the album.
Well, I see David Lastly and Susan Collins backing vocals.
Okay, well there you go.
Speeding Back to My Baby, What's on Your Mind, and New York Groove.
Okay. Well,
So
I don't know who those people are, but that answers that question.
Yeah. I think those are the same people that sang the Garfield cartoon back.
Oh, I hope so.
There's that certain sound from that era that backing vocals always had.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Just overly perfect sounding.
Yeah. Soulful but perfect.
Maybe a little too perfect sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit of like a weird deep in one of the backups. I don't know. Oh, maybe it's Jim Gillette. What did he say? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what that is. It's almost like a weird, what's that thing called that they use, like Peter Frampton thing?
The voice
talk box.
It's like a
talk box.
The talk box.
Yeah. I almost hear a little bit of something like that. I don't know.
Maybe somebody's head-butting a wood block to get that rhythm going. Like the galloping horses.
Hopefully the guy in the Cat Scratch Fever video.
Yeah.
The background vocals totally are like, we keep bringing this up, but it's like the Garfield cartoons.
It really is, isn't it?
It's like, it's just on the border of being a little cheesy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't ruin it.
Yeah, it is kind of approaching that, though. It's a little overly arranged. You know, it's like throw in this alternate lyric and, you know, mix it in this way and blah, blah, blah. It's like there's almost to the point where there's too much going on.
Zipped right through that
It's
one.
like almost quasi-funky guitar playing from Ace right there. That is a quick one. What is it? 2 and change?
3:01.
3:01. Jeez, it seemed a lot quicker than that.
It did.
I'd say Ace is probably the all-time funkiest member of the band, right?
Sure.
Of Kiss, probably.
I'm gonna go with Eric Carr being second.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As far as the funkiness,
He had a background in that, right? His previous work before Kiss was a little bit more of like dance band
soul
kind of stuff.
and funk and all that stuff. Yeah,
right. So, do we have our thoughts together? Is it time to vote?
It is time.
All right. Who wants to vote first? Hell or Hallelujah? Let's hear it from Nick. No.
Hallelujah.
You pointed at me.
Hallelujah.
Oh, darn it. Was that hot? I was told that our hallelujahs are very hot.
They
by
are
my
very
friend
hot.
Ryan. Sorry, Ryan, and everyone else who feels the same way. But you know what? I'm not going to fix it.
You're supposed to drum up some enthusiasm. That's what it's designed to do.
There you go. Trying to get you people fired up at home. What do you want to say about it, Nick?
Just that I've always loved it. It's a song that I even if I'm in a mood where I'm not really wanting to listen to something terribly accessible, it still is awesome to me.
Mm-hmm.
I still get the same kind of feeling from it. So, just the overall effect they achieved with it. It's a unique song.
That's true.
It goes. I think I mentioned this episodes and episodes ago, but there are songs that I kind of, in my head, I think captured a unique sound. Whether you like the song or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is one of them. Summer in the City is another one.
I hate that song.
Well, you might hate it, but I think it's
but
like,
I know exactly
but
what
it
you
has
mean.
like a really unique sound to it. Fly Like an Eagle by Steve Miller, probably another very
Terrible
hateable song, but achieved, and I guess you could say probably like
so you're saying
a lot of Pink Floyd.
This song is
nonsense.
just like other terrible songs,
except for this one is the best of all those songs.
Okay. Gotcha.
No, it's just the overall. It's a
back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. One of the worst lyrics of all time. You should not be singing about the back of your own neck in a song. I mean, that's just, if you're doing that, revisit what you're doing, change up the lyrics.
Yeah, that should be your first draft.
Yeah,
that line needs.
Somebody
to be
should have
crossed out.
reined that in. It should have never made it to tape. But on the same token, it's an iconic song. So what do I know? But yeah, that lyric just always just comes immediately to mind when I hear mention of that song.
Well,
I mean, that's like the main thing. And then that terrible noise, that keyboard noise at the beginning. That's probably what makes me sick. And then the timing of that. It's like, just stop. What are you doing?
The whole thing is just
stuttery guitar thing.
Now, Fly Like an Eagle, if I hadn't heard it a million times, I'd probably like it more. And since I don't try my damnedest to never listen to classic rock radio, so I haven't heard it in a while. It's a pretty cool song. One of his better ones. Certainly better than fucking Abracadabra or some of the other poppy shit he put out, you know. But, yeah, I mean, if you didn't hear it every 10 minutes on classic rock radio, you might like it more. So
could say that about a lot of bands and a lot of songs.
How does anybody get any enjoyment from who tunes in to classic rock radio and gets excited when Money by Pink Floyd comes on, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, who listens to that shit anymore? It's just, I don't get that. It's like, how can you hear this song for the millionth fucking time and get some enjoyment?
There
out
are
of it?
songs like that where you hear the beginning and it's like, ugh.
It's almost all of those songs.
You're foreseeing how many minutes, you know, if you do actually keep it on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of the song, but there's that Yes song where it starts off with the acoustic guitar.
Roundabout.
Is that with the harmonics? Once you hear that, it's like, ugh.
Well, any Yes song, really. Sorry. Apologies to our boy Kevin Williams, but... what do you guys listen to FM radio at all?
Not often.
Very rarely.
I did. There was a period where I did a lot a few years back, just because, probably maybe a few years, maybe close to 10. But I was spending a lot of time in vehicles for the job I had, and it didn't have a CD player, so I was just listening to whatever, and it was like, oh, this is the worst. It really is like the same 50
terrible,
songs,
awful,
maybe, over and over and over and over forever.
And it doesn't matter what station you have on to. You get sick within an hour.
Yeah.
I if I'm listening to FM radio, I will listen to the fucking dance station, because at least I haven't heard those fucking songs a million times.
That's a good
already
point.
in my life.
They get that stuff in and out pretty quick.
Yeah,
like you can
exactly
tune in 2 months
the
later.
life
you're not gonna hear
cycle
the
of
same
those
shit.
pop songs is very brief.
Yeah, totally.
But normally I'm listening to my iPod or like sports talk radio on AM, never anything on FM. It's enough.
I wonder if AM talk radio is as popular as it is because FM music radio is so bad. And people are so sick of it. I don't know.
Could you imagine being a DJ?
Oh. Do they even have DJs anymore?
Well, they got to have somebody who is listening, right?
Not necessarily.
Has to make sure that
There's got to be some kind of tech.
There's got to be somebody listening at all times to make sure it doesn't go awry.
Well, a producer. That's not a DJ. It's not an on-air personality.
Oh, but
I'm sure some stations still have a DJ, but they have no
whoever's
say
job it is to
playing.
be there and has to listen to the same songs.
Horrible.
And if you're a guy who's been there since the songs came out, I can't imagine. Cannot imagine.
No. Anyway, should I vote now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hallelujah, of course. Like Nick, I got nostalgic. Remember listening to this 8-track in my room, and this was one of the songs that jumped out at me, and just as being really cool and really different. And between this and 2000 Man, Ace had a real knack for dusting off these obscure covers and making them his own.
That's true.
So, I think I wonder if he had considered doing 2000 Man before he cut this, or if this inspired it. But essentially, 2 albums in a row, he just made a couple of obscure songs his own. Which is not easy to do with cover tunes. I mean, it's been done. Like Hendrix's "All Along the Watchtower" became his own, but it's a real accomplishment if you can take a cover song and have your version be the signature version of that tune. Of course, it helps in these 2 cases that they're relatively obscure songs, but. Somebody mentions this title, nobody's thinking hello, okay? They're thinking Ace Frehley, so
right.
It's a good accomplishment and a testament to what they achieved in the studio. It's maybe a little overproduced and overarranged with the backing vocals, but overall I'd call it a pretty triumphant job by everyone involved. So
it doesn't seem like an outlandish speculation that this song was so huge, and then Dynasty comes along and he says, "Hey, I had a huge hit with a cover.
Yeah,
my gut's telling me I've always loved this song. I think I could do it." So
makes sense.
It's kind of and when I think we talked about this, but it was probably a couple of years ago when Ace finally did "Fox on the Run."
Yeah,
it's like. That could have been Ace the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Like the sweet version to me always sounded like Ace.
Yeah,
for years and years and years.
Almost thought it was for a while.
Yeah, I mean it's like
back in the day when you couldn't just wiki it.
Another one, I guess sort of a different genre, but I remember working at the bookstore. And Billy Idol came out with the greatest hits, and he did that "Don't You Forget About Me" Breakfast Club song. It's like everybody probably thought that was him for 20 years,
right?
At that
it's
point,
a perfect song for him.
Yeah,
wasn't that song intended for him originally, and then they handed it off to Simple Minds? I think I heard that before.
I don't know.
That would make sense though.
Or I might be just be making that up. I don't know, but that makes sense. It's It's weird how that kind of thing works out, but yeah, I hear what you're saying there. Andy?
A lot of the things that we said in describing what they were doing with like the drum and bass rhythm together, creating a groove and all that, even though I said it as a complimentary thing, it's not typically something like this type of groove is really not something I really would ever listen to. It's weird. I don't know. I'm being very complimentary to the song, but also kind of crapping on it at the same time. I think it's a great song, and I think the performance is great. This is one that I probably almost always skip over if it pops up on shuffle. Well, I'm never in the mood.
It's one of those where if you've heard it a zillion times, you'd rather get to something else on the album.
Yeah, and I'm not a very chill music guy.
No,
just in general.
That's true.
So it doesn't make me tough or cool. I'm just saying, typically, the songs like that on albums that I have on my shuffle, I'm like, I'm usually either trying to get some frustration out or psych myself up enough to actually walk into work that day.
You're usually listening to Misfits songs on YouTube, apparently.
Yeah,
and
reading comments.
Songs to smash trash cans to.
Exactly.
What he needs to hear.
Yeah. But that being said, again, part of it is probably memories from Nick listening to this constantly as kids. And then also, taking it for what it is, the song that it is. My chair's really squeaky today. Ace injecting the personality that he did to the song, turning out a great performance. What's not to like? So there you go.
There it is.
There it is.
That's our Andy.
That's him, isn't it?
Oh, and again, the bit you read before the song about the album, about Ace's attitude, where what did he say? Made him realize what he could accomplish on his own, and made him less interested in the band. It's just another aspect of how this whole solo album exercise backfired on specifically Gene. I'm convinced that the whole thing was meant to position him and Paul as superior to the other two guys in a public way, and it totally backfired with regard to Ace's album.
So you don't think it was 1992 or whatever, but Extreme Close-Up, when they talk about it, it's whatever you do, don't leave the band, put out solo albums. There was never any...
I'm not saying that wasn't involved in it, but I'm convinced, this is just my personal opinion, that part of the motivation was to snap those two idiots back in the line and be like, these two clowns can't do anything on their own, and we're going to prove it to everybody. And they're going to fall into line after this and do exactly what we tell them to, and it completely backfired.
Like everybody's going to realize how much they need us.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that was part of the motivation here.
Almost to the point where they wouldn't even put albums together, and then the next Kiss album would just be a hybrid of Gene and Paul's solo albums kind of thing. Like, you guys are the worst. Look at this crap you turned in. We can't release this.
This is even further speculation, but it could almost be like, all right, we're going to create evidence to use against them in the future.
Right.
Like, I need a song on the album. Well, look,
go write 10.
Nobody bought your album, so why should we do that?
Right. Yeah.
And then this happened.
And, Peter was absolutely being himself on his album, and they accused him of the exact opposite. It's just, I don't know.
He didn't know who he was.
I'm convinced that there were ulterior motives here, and it just didn't pan out the way Gene in particular expected him to. Will you guys quit with this horse?
Don't look at us.
Jesus.
All right, it's time for
hand signals.
I still don't know what he was.
It doesn't matter. We'll get to it later. It's not important right now.
God. Okay.
We got 3 hallelujahs. So this song is now... Well, actually, either way, it was on a list. But I was going to say it made it to one of the lists, honorable mention or Stone Cold Kiss
now
Classic.
Eligible.
Yeah, it's still in the balance.
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
Well, let's find out.
All right, Hammond! I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley could not be any less interested.
He just walked off stage. He doesn't even care what the answer is.
What people think of this song.
Yeah.
So what is the question for any new listeners?
Is New York Groove a Stone Cold Kiss classic, as voted by the 3 rock and roll boners who host Pot of Thunder every Monday?
I thought we were the hot, wet holes that host Pot of Thunder.
What was that from?
Wasn't that Plug or Hot Wet Holes with their rock and roll boners or something?
Is that the same thing? Okay.
Yeah.
More YouTube comments.
On the Linda Carter.
That was another classic. Hilarious. Rock and roll boners has become part of my regular vernacular after that.
The 3 warbling shitholes that host Pot of Thunder.
That's even better.
Oh, that was another one we found today.
3 fat Memphis pigs who host the worst podcast out there. But people seem to like it, so.
There you go.
Okay.
My vote is in.
Yeah.
Baby.
Mine's in too.
Mine too. Standard procedure here.
Andy, Nick, Chris. Yeah.
Okay.
Youngest to oldest, right? Is that how that works?
That's right. You have seniority to stomp it out at any time. I guess we all do. There's no majority rules, but you get the last vote, so.
Oh, and you think about it, you know, people bash us for some of our SKKK selections over the course of the podcast, but it's got to get 6 votes to make it to that. So, you know, it's those are songs that collectively we believe are the top quality Kiss tunes, and you know, if you're going to get 6 positive votes, you belong on that list. So,
yep. All right. Got to be unanimous. The votes are in. They'll be revealed.
He's headbutting that cowbell.
Yes. The votes will be revealed right after this word from Squarespace.
Yeah, right.
Kidding. No, we don't have ads.
Pull a Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
And the results after the break.
After like 3 breaks.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Jerk.
All right, let's do it. Ready?
Yep.
Good.
Good.
Real good.
Oh, brother.
You're looking really good.
Good, real good. It's a Stone Cold Kiss classic,
Mr.
ladies and
Silk
gentlemen.
would have been a good addition to the backing vocals in this too.
Yeah?
Yeah, he would have.
He would have been perfect for that.
He'd have fit right in.
Oh,
Yep,
well.
sure would have.
Well, hey, if for some reason you're crazy and you disagree,
Well, wait, hold it.
Oh.
We should we just explain our vote, or do we have to? We don't have to, obviously, but
if you want to.
I don't know. You consider the stature of this song, how it was the biggest hit single, how it was commandeered by the fucking Yankees to
Yeah.
sort of. Isn't it the song they play after they win? Sort of their version of "Go Cubs Go," but infinitely cooler.
Yeah.
Infinitely.
Not as white as that song.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you know, it's become synonymous with probably the most famous city in the world. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
It is.
You know, Gene had given his Creature's Codpiece to have one of his solo cuts be on this level.
Well,
so.
I don't know how many other songs have been written about Cadillac, Michigan. So Gene's probably got that market cornered.
Yeah,
the
that's
Cadillac
true.
Dreams.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know that did Peter ever go down that road? I left my heart in San Francisco or something. I don't know. He probably
in a solo
did
album.
something like that. I can't think of anything, but wonder what city Peter would try to warm up to like that. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Do you ever name check like the Bronx or any of his New York neighborhoods that he trolled around?
Seem like it.
I don't know. Not by name.
I'd like
but
to
I
hear
can
him
recall.
do a cover of New York State of Mind. I think he would probably kill that.
I don't disagree. Just trying to think. I can't think of anything like that he's done. He should do a Standards album.
He
Get in
should.
that Rod Stewart world.
Well, he's touched on it because we had,
Send in the Clowns.
Send in the Clowns, of course, and I wouldn't be surprised if he eventually did that. But he's kind of, you could probably go through a few of his albums and assemble something similar, even though they might not technically be old standards.
But just kind of that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few legit ones, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, if you disagree,
that's just the fucking way it is.
I'd be surprised if there was too much dissension over this one. I mean, come on. It's Ace. Everybody loves Ace. And it's the biggest cut on his album, and as well, all 4 solo albums. So I'd be pretty surprised if anybody disagreed with what we got going on. So
yeah, just think of all the solo albums and all the great material that you can accumulate amongst the 4. This was the one that broke out like a wild horse.
Yeah.
No other song came close, right? I mean,
no, not even close.
I don't think so.
Nothing. Well, anything else you guys want to do? Do you want to try something here? See if there's anything.
What are we doing?
Well, we had a discussion earlier, Chris and I.
Oh, boy.
And it kind of came up during the show, and it makes sense to try it now, I think. Just that any YouTube video, for one reason or another, I guess it's just human nature. People just want to argue and fight about anything.
Especially on the internet.
Yeah. So we were thinking, if whatever song we talked about, which today would be New York Groove, if we looked it up on YouTube, and this might flop terribly, so bear with us here. But we just want to see if there's any humorous fighting.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, in the comments section.
Or even just
not
not necessarily fighting, but just hilarious one-off comments that just come out of nowhere and just are really weird.
Right.
So we got Andy doing a little screening over there.
Yeah.
Scrolling frantically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
So a lot of people
it's kind of a quasi dirty living game where we're looking for the most scandalous passage we can find.
Yeah. So what's the Giants? Says Song of the Giants. So it must be New York Giants use this too?
Could be.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a New York guy, so.
Me neither. Let's go Mets. The line where it says it's going to be ecstasy, someone put in quotes, it's going to be eggs to see.
Good one.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks
Terrible.
a lot. Thanks, Internet.
I thought for sure he was going to just
That's when you
name a
tell the
different
guy
drug.
to shut his warbling shithole.
Exactly.
I thought for sure he was going with a different drug name. That was going to be the joke.
All right.
You got a good one?
Out of nowhere.
That's
now,
best kind.
Remember, this isn't me saying it, but I'm going to read it word for word.
Oh,
so this is, we're going to attempt to do this from here on out, and just, again, disclaimer, we are simply reading what's in the YouTube comments, so you're going to hear probably some language that shouldn't come out of any human being's mouth, but it's been typed out, it's on the internet, so
it's going to come out of mine.
And again, what we're proving here is that it could be anything. We could punch up a puppy video and there'd be some filth laid out by some subhuman who has no other way to express himself but to lash out in a random YouTube comment. So
all right.
Give the person's handle, which is probably some stupid anonymous nickname.
Well,
and then
no, this is just a straight-up name. Lola Flores.
Oh, okay.
Posted 2 years ago.
Hot-tempered Latina.
Yep.
This ought to be good.
Out of nowhere. Not a response to anybody, just a standalone comment.
Were there any responses to it?
None.
Okay. Even better.
That tells you something
Just
right there.
just
It's
a beacon in the night, just standing on its own.
It does have 13 thumbs up, though, to this comment. So.
All right, well, that's pretty good. So it must be a quality insight, a thoughtful,
you'll be the judge.
Thoughtful expression of somebody's thoughts.
Terrible shit.
Lola Flores.
Terrible stuff coming your way, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Put the kids to bed.
Here we go.
Gene Simmons is a putz and is the epitome of a money-grubbing Jew.
Jesus.
He is so self-absorbed, shameless twat who promoted himself in front of wounded soldiers for a plug and nothing more. Now, really, what's interesting about this? It has nothing to do with Gene Simmons.
Why would you?
Why this song? Do you come?
Why do
you
arrive at this video and feel the need to lash out at Gene Simmons as a money grubbing Jew in this environment?
I mean, go to the Tunnel of Love video or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff. And 13 thumbs up to that.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And people wonder how we arrived at Donald Trump as our president.
Exactly. That's. I mean, that and the whole thing, the Tommy and Eric wearing the makeup, the Gene and Paul being greedy. It's just as tired.
Yeah, you're
just
right.
as tired. And any time it's just an eye roll moment. Anytime anybody brings it up.
Yeah. And it's one
especially
of the first
by
things.
Individuals named Lola Flores.
Yeah.
It's like, give me a break.
Yeah. It's
It's
always.
like, why does she have an opinion one way or the other about what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah. Let's give it another quick minute here. A lot of stuff about the Giants, so this is really a Giants thing.
Yeah, I
score a
guess
touchdown.
so. Didn't know that. I swear it's part of the Yankees thing, though. But we've got. I'm sure we've got some listeners from New York who can correct us. Nothing else.
So this is weird because this kind of goes back to what that. This is like a comment, a response to that other one, but it's way out of order and it's not in that chain. I don't even know what that is. I'm just going to skip that. Well, okay, I'll read this. Someone said, I still don't care for Mr. Simmons, but I appreciate your nerve to use money-grubbing Jew and a Yiddish word in the same sentence. Putz. Bully for that. So.
I see what you did there, Lola Flores. Is
Yep.
basically the vibe of that.
Yeah, wait. Oh, here we go.
All right,
Here we
this
go.
will close it out.
Here, this is kind of what I'm talking about, but I wish there was a fight that went on after this. Because this is what happens. There's a song. Right. Someone's angry about something totally unrelated and comes on and injects it into their response.
It failed to touch off a total brouhaha, but the intent was there. I'm getting the impression. What's the name of this individual?
Sanit Man, SINIT Man.
Works for the city.
Yeah, so a sanitation man, number 1. Sanit Man 1.
So he's the manager of the sanitation department.
Yep.
Okay.
So here we go. I'm back in New York groove, liberal, progressive, welfare, illegal immigrant cesspool, and then like 10 periods.
Great.
So why? Why do you...
Well,
there's probably a video where you could have that conversation if you want to. Why this?
Well, just considering that it's got New York in the title, you're gonna get something like this. You are.
I don't know.
It's just going to happen.
I don't know. It's like you would arrive at this song because you like the song and you want to enjoy listening to it for free. How does this kind of anger come out of you?
Do you think this person was listening to the song and then said, I'm going to type this about it? Or you think they said, I want to type this about New York. What song should I type? I'm going to seek a song out. Do you think the comments there first and they're trying to find a place to put it, or they're actually enjoying the video and that's just the thought process? These are the questions we're trying to answer with this segment.
Yeah. You might say it's a fool's errand to try to understand the mind of some of these people, but I think we could wrap it there. I don't want to look too long, but that's kind of what we're getting at. And I think over time we'll also have duds, but we found some gems.
You found some amazing stuff on a Misfits video earlier that's kind of inspired this whole segment. So, we might not even just keep it to the song. We might just pick a random YouTube video. It's kind of we're hoping that it ends up as sort of a reprise of the Caribbean Cove reviews segments that we read. We're trying to get that level of vitriol out.
Yeah.
And where better to find it than on YouTube?
Yeah.
Or you could go to like fucking CNN and any
anytime
article out now. You could about Trump, you could pull the same thing.
Oh, sure. Well,
so no shortage of material.
Drop dead, you brainless, witless loser.
Is this in the New York Groove?
Yeah, this is another one.
Jesus.
The world would be a much better place for it.
Wow.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Wow.
I'm sorry. We were just gonna wrap
Things
it.
are spiraling out of control.
Someone started a conversation with, "This is ultra crap. Is this when Kiss turned disco?" And from there.
Okay, there's your matchstick.
Yep. Now everybody's pissed
There's your
off.
linchpin.
There's a lot of fighting here. Blah 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 blah. Fighting.
Yeah, I could from across the room. I could see alternating icons next to the handle, where there's a back and forth going on.
And that's
here.
never good.
Yeah.
No, it's always good in this context. It's what you want.
Well, one person is saying blah blah blah. This is from Ace's album. Get your facts straight if you're going to be a huge dick on YouTube.
That's great.
Get your facts straight.
And then the response. Again, lowest common denominator, always taking it to this place. That has nothing to do with this sounding like gay disco music. You gay people are just too sensitive. And then that's setting off a whole other...
Of course.
Yeah. Which, come on. Here we go. Now it's talking about closeted homosexuals in denial. And, look at it's
Look at
a
his
downward spiral.
Yeah, it's like, how much scrolling have you done? It's still going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's two people fighting the whole time. Oh, God. Hold on. But I wanted to find that one last one before we get out of here. There's just so much. It's so stupid.
He's still scrolling.
Yeah.
It's like two icons going at each other. It's hilarious.
I don't give a shit what you like or don't like, so keep crying me a river, you big baby. Drop dead, you simpleton piece of garbage.
Jesus.
Do something constructive, troll, like finding your real father, asswipe. See? How does this happen? It's on every video. You just have to find the little scab to be picked, and when it happens...
And that's where... That is going to be a new segment on every episode from here on out.
Yeah.
It's just too good. There's just too much potential for fucking comedy gold to leave it ignored.
Yeah, so then it basically ended with the drop dead, you brainless, witless loser. The world would be a much better place. And then the original guy who said the thing about this being disco and all the gay stuff said, go listen to your Kiss disco and dance around like the queers they are. So there you go.
Jesus Christ.
These people are just ridiculous. But I mean, if you have a stomach for this, it's nonstop free entertainment.
This is a rabbit. You could literally be on this for hours with one leading into the next. It just never ends.
Well, another place to find stuff like this is on Blabbermouth.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if you've looked at the comments on articles on Blabbermouth.
It's just anywhere
it's the same.
Anywhere where people can interact.
Well, that's true also.
Someone has an opinion, the other person disagrees, and then adds an insult, and then that's what starts it.
In a musical context, I've noticed that it's almost always, like in this case, the one that you just read, somebody says, I more or less, maybe a little more colorfully, they say, I do not like this.
Yeah. Right.
And then you get someone coming out with the name calling almost the very next comment. You got the name calling starting, and then it's just that's it.
But here's what I don't understand. Like, let's say you're on the video page for New York Groove, right? Or you're on a Blabbermouth article. Yeah. If you don't like it, what are you doing on these pages? Why would you come to this video if you didn't like the song, except with the intention of causing a fucking shit storm, which is fine. It leads to all this entertainment, but it's like, why would you go out of your way to arrive at an internet page about something you don't like?
It's an interesting question because it's hard to tell if people typically are more vocal about endorsing something that they really love or tearing down something that they really hate?
I think it's tearing down something.
Absolutely.
They hate. Yeah.
Not even a question.
That's
So
just
people would much
human
rather say I hate it than I love it.
Well, they want to say you're an idiot.
They want to shit on, rain on other people's parades.
Absolutely. That's
bring them down. It's really a bizarre aspect of the human psyche.
Yeah.
But
and
thank
it's
God
never been
for the
more
internet.
evident than now.
Well, yeah. It's just hilarious stuff.
This one's clearly a troll, but nobody said anything.
Nobody took the bait?
No, it's pretty good.
Congratulations to everybody.
Yeah, Shannon Horridge said, Gene Simmons' voice is just so sexy in this song. Can pick him out straight away. God of Thunder is mad hot. # Gene Simmons. Just want to start a fight about how that's not Gene Simmons, you idiot. But
I guess that's just so obvious that they're kidding around,
Yeah.
probably, that nobody's even bothering.
I was just hoping there would be a fight after that, but nothing. All right.
Oh,
well.
Tune in next week. We'll be sharpening the chicken's claws and throwing them into the pen.
And since this is a new segment, we'll be tightening it up. Maybe have some theme music along the lines of the Dirty Living Game stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe just run the Rage music on a loop, something going on in the background.
That seems very fitting.
We'll figure something out here.
Yeah, well, it's a new segment. Give us some time to tighten it up, but rest assured there's no shortage of material. I mean, the stuff that we read about this thing, a fight between two people rooted in homophobia on the YouTube page for New York Groove by Ace Frehley. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
This proves that anywhere you go on YouTube, you will find one of these shitstorms. So we will bring them to light and read them for your entertainment.
Maybe we'll have some commercials playing in the background. Kill two birds there.
This is brought to you by... Yeah. Can you imagine that?
This portion is
the most horrible portion. Worst language.
Brought to you by the Rainbow Coalition for Equal Rights for Gay People.
There you go.
Dancing around like the queers that you are.
Right.
So,
all right. Well, I think that's time to go. What do you think?
That'll do
we
it.
Good?
Yeah, I think so.
Until
Until next time.
I'm going to go grab this guitar.
Oh,
off
and
the
don't...
wall. I'll
Yeah,
see you
careful.
later. Yeah.
And don't forget to watch, again, Cat Scratch Fever by Nitro. And when the...
Just watch the first 20 seconds.
Then
if something good happens after that, let me know.
The running in place by the singer, followed by the cymbal headbutt by the drummer.
Let us know what you think of that.
Just make a GIF of that and have that rolling in a loop. That's all you need.
And thanks again to Eric for putting
Yes, thank you, Eric.
on our radar, because we've been laughing all day. So thank you. We'll be back next week.
Andy Jones, Nick Jones, Chris.
Listen worldwide, Pitbull, take a sound. I'm working for you. Get funky, get funky. Now pump it up.
And why is that guy running in place at the beginning? I mean, what's up with that? With his flowing silk shirt and his this guy. Worst, absolute worst. Bottom of the barrel music. Terrible shit.
That's so good.
Horrible.